Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about how I adapt to living in a sighted world. I lost my sight at a very young age, 18 months to be exact. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, wait, what do you mean you adapt to living in a sighted world? Let me explain. As a kid, I was very energetic and I wanted to do every single thing that my sighted peers and my sighted brother was doing. I wasn't going to allow my disability to stop me from riding a scooter or going to the park to hang out with friends. And in school, it was really hard for me to make friends because at that age, no one really knew how to approach a blind person. And so I had no other choice but to isolate myself. And I was bullied a lot growing up, especially in middle school. I didn't know how to ask for help when it came to my bullying situation. And when I came home from school, my family would say, well, hey, how was your day? And I would just shrug it off and say, well, just good. It was just another day at school. But internally, I was hurting. And although I could have asked my family to help me, I didn't want them to fight for me. I wanted to fight this battle on my own. So that's what I told myself. This is your job to figure this out. You have to do this. No one else can fix this problem for you. But I still never asked for help. Now, adapting to living in a sighted world to me means that I have to adjust the way that I do things because a lot of the time people don't know how to help blind people. Throughout college, I struggled with getting accommodations. I struggled to get the materials that I needed in order for me to succeed. I had issues with professors because, well, they didn't think that a student needed to have an accommodation. And so that was when I started to advocate for what I needed. And I didn't know how to really do that when I was younger because, well, I just thought, well, this is just the way the world works. This is just what society is, and that's just how it's going to be. Even as a kid, I hated the idea of using my cane. And my family would say, well, we're going out. Why don't you bring your cane? But I would come up with every single excuse in the book as to why I did not want to bring my cane. And the wonderful thing that I really do appreciate about my family is that they never forced me. They never pitied me. They let me adjust and adapt to this all on my own timing. At the age of 5 years old, my mom enrolled me in a music school called the Lighthouse. And from that point on, I played piano, I took dance classes, I went to really awesome field trips with a lot of my friends. And through that program, I started to understand that there's other blind people who are going through their own journey. And I started to understand that blindness is a spectrum and that everybody does things completely differently within the blind community. But I'm really grateful for that program because that was where I met some really awesome people. And that was where I started to really understand and accept my blindness because as a kid, I didn't know how to really do that because I wasn't around other blind people. But those blind people accepted me and embraced me. And as I got older, yes, I was faced with a lot of discrimination. I mean, I still am to this day. But I started to learn how to speak up and advocate for those needs because I wanted the world to understand that I belonged, regardless of what people had to say or what they thought about me, regardless of the pitiful looks I may have gotten in public when I started to really become more confident in using my cane. I wanted people to know that I, Gabby, am capable, more capable than anyone will ever know. And I have my hard days too. I mean, who doesn't? But I also have learned that, yes, being blind, I have to work twice as hard as sighted people do because I can't just get up and go. Everything has to be organized for me from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. How am I going to get to school? How am I going to meet up with a friend? How am I going to find this new place that I've never been to? These are questions that run through my mind every time I have to embark on a new journey to find someplace new. So adapting to living in a sighted world, it comes with its challenges. It's not always filled with a lot of happiness. I struggle with my mental health. I struggle with self-acceptance. But I've also started to love the person that I am even more. I've started to fully embrace my disability because although some people may say that my blindness is everything that I am, they're wrong, because I'm so much more than I have disability. It's a part of who I am, but there's way more to me before my disability. A quick story I want to tell you. At the age of 6, I kept asking for a scooter. I was like, I really want a scooter because I just want a scooter. I didn't have any other reasoning, I just wanted one. And I begged for one until finally someone got me one. And my aunt came over with my uncle at the time, and she was going out and she's wearing high heels, and she's like, okay, well, come downstairs with your scooter, because I finally got one. And I was like, well, I haven't been able to ride my scooter yet. And I was so fearless because the minute I got downstairs, she had to chase right after me because she was like, you were just zooming past me and I couldn't even catch you. And she's like, that's how I knew that you were fearless. So yes, I am capable, regardless of what people have to say. And I want you to know that you too are capable. You too can speak up and fight for awareness for your community. Because you belong, regardless of what people have to say about you or to you. Don't let them try to tear you down. Don't let people make you feel like you're a burden. And if people don't want to accept you, it's their loss. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and that's the biggest message I want you to take away from this. Thank you.